So if you're an aspiring artist, especially aspiring rapper, this is really who that's geared towards. You essentially have three options towards preparing a supply chain of your music to a situation that can support a viable career. Those options are: you can produce your own beats, you can buy exclusive rights to beats, or you can lease your beats. Now, in this video, I'm going to make the case as to why leasing your beats is actually a really good option for a lot of people. That's not just because I have a beat store where I sell beat leases, I also sell exclusives. I'm also going to make videos making the case of why you should make your own beats or why you should buy exclusive leases in videos to come on this channel. So hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. The biggest advantage of leasing beats is it's just the cheapest, most efficient way to move forward. Even, I guess you could make the case that if you can make your own beats, that is the cheapest, but realistically, if you're making your own beats and you don't have anything to begin with, you're gonna have to buy a good amount of plugins, you're gonna have to buy a good amount of VST instruments, sound banks, and not to mention just a lot of time to get your beats to a level that is going to be able to contend somebody that's been producing for any amount of time. Really, beat leasing kind of gets a bad rep because a lot of people associate beat leases with low quality or being a YouTube rapper or a struggle rapper. But when you examine some of the critiques, they really just don't make sense to most people's circumstances. So let me elaborate on that a little bit more. Sure, a lot of beat leases are low quality, they're not stuff you want to use, but that's just the nature of the internet. You're going to have to do a little bit of time digging through BeatStars, digging through YouTube or SoundCloud to find some gems, but they're there, and there's so many people contributing to this ecosystem that the quality is going to be there. You just have to look for it. And when you find a good producer, just stay in touch with them. Keep checking in. When you've decided on what type of lane you're trying to go for as an artist and what type of sound complements that, it only takes a little bit of time for you to spend a couple hours mining YouTube and find a group of, 10, 15 producers that seem to fit that sound until you have a reliable pool of people that you can just go to every week, check in every week and see what their new tracks are, see what interests you. Because there's so many beats that are on YouTube, on BeatStars, on the internet, you're gonna be able to find a lot of stuff that you can just listen to and demo just hundreds of thousands of tracks. When you're working in a situation where you're, a producer's making custom beats for you, obviously all those beats take a lot of time. So you're just not going to have the amount of options for something to just sweep you on your feet and immediately trigger that type of inspiration you're looking for to start a song. And it's definitely true when comparing to making your own beats. Making your own beats takes a lot of time, and you might make 20 beats before you make one that is like, oh man, this is inspiring, the vocal take that is going to be my next hit record or the next record that I want to invest in and believe in. It's very economical to do this. Let's be real. Most artists that try to make music don't make any money making music, like the vast majority of people. With that said, if you can't afford to invest $100 per track or $150 per track to get some track stems that you can mix and rearrange, then you probably just have to be honest with yourself and say that you're just trying to make music as a hobby and not as a career. If you're trying to invest in yourself, paying $150 per track is something that you should find a way through your own personal finances that you're able to scale into. And once you get just a little bit of momentum going on streaming, that easily pays for itself. Now, a lot of people are concerned about the professionalism of leasing a beat because they just they don't want somebody else to have the same track. There's a couple different realities with this that I think you have to be sober-minded and address head on. One, most beat makers use a lot of loops to begin with. So even if you're getting a custom or a exclusive rights beat, there is a good chance that in 2021, one of the main elements of that is going to come from a splice loop or another royalty-free sound bank. So even if you have an exclusive track, there might be 500 other tracks on streaming right now that have incorporated a similar melody. Two, if you get big enough, like if you really turn into like a superstar success, there are going to be people that reproduce your beat anyway. So like in any situation, if the situation goes as good for you as you want it to be, it's only a matter of time before YouTube just generates an instrumental that's a carbon copy of whatever it is you got going on. And I mean, this is evidenced by, you can think of just about any popular rap song in the last 10 years, and you can just search the instrumental, and you're probably going to find, if not the official instrumental, something that sounds an awful lot like it on YouTube. So there's going to be other people that end up making music to your track. If you ultimately hit the lottery, there's going to be other people that are making a record to your track if your track reaches a certain degree of success. The other thing is, when you're buying exclusive licenses through a site like BeatStar, generally beats are offered exclusive and lease-wise. So if you buy an exclusive license, there's a good chance other people have already leased the beat. If there's other people that have licenses for those beat leases that were purchased before you bought an exclusive, you're gonna have to just live with the fact that there's other people that probably have this. Even at the highest levels of the industry, you're gonna find multiple people rapping over the same beat. And generally, I mean, this is kind of frowned upon. There are instances where producers will send a pack of 50 beats to 30 different artists, and there's just not good communication between the labels and the teams and the A&Rs between what beats are actually getting used. So even at the highest levels, there are duplicate beats that end up going on. So we already talked about this. Most rappers aren't really going to go anywhere with their career. Like, the overwhelming majority of people that try to make music just aren't going to get anywhere. So if you purchase a beat lease, and let's say you're one of 20 people to lease the same beat, statistically, almost none of them are going to have a footprint that will infringe on your footprint if you were to be successful. And if you are just like one of the other 90% of people that try to make music, and you're not successful, then at least you save some money instead of forking over between $500 and $2,000 for the exclusive rights for a custom beat. Some notable producers charge a lot more than $2,000 for a single track. So the reality is that a lot of people don't know when their moment is going to hit, when they're going to create momentum. They don't know what records are going to be big. Most artists that I know, their biggest songs aren't necessarily their favorite songs or the ones that they thought. So if you're just basically betting the whole farm on every single track you release, you're just not going to be able to put out very many tracks if you're spending $300 to $500 or even more per track. It might be a great track to you, but sometimes you just need a little bit of bulk to get your career going. Sometimes it's the record that you least expect that is going to do something for your career that's actually going to make a difference in your life. So by choosing a cheaper, more time-effective path forward, you're going to be able to just make more music, which is going to help you make better music. You're going to be able to scale into a situation where your music pays for itself more quickly. And that's going to set you up for success. So I think for a lot of people, beat leasing is a great way to get started. And if you're in high school or even middle school and you don't have a whole lot of money, I mean, yeah, go for a $25 track lease and learn how to mix vocals into that. But I would recommend saving up for something where you can at least get the track stems to where you can mix it, you can rearrange it, you can even add post-production and make the tracks your own. I hope that this video can kind of help through the thought process of artists that are trying to figure out how to move forward with the most effective way to make and release music. I'm going to be doing some more videos like this in the future, breaking down the case why you would want to buy an exclusive beat, and breaking down the case of why you should just make your own beats. And on top of that, we're going to do a video on why you need to learn how to record yourself as well, and don't pay money for a studio. Because I think that's actually implicit in a lot of this. You need to learn how to record yourself. It doesn't matter what you have available to you. It doesn't matter what budget you have. Learn how to record yourself if you are trying to make music. If you can't do that, don't even try. It's gonna fail. I almost guarantee you. But I'll make a whole video about that going forward as well. If you comment your questions to this or objections to this, I'm gonna read through all of them. So I'll try to answer whatever other objection or question you have in another video. So yeah, stay subscribed and let's build.